Hello and welcome everyone to the in-depth series of Drishti IAS. My name is Pragya. The most anticipated event in India happened yesterday. The interim budget of 2024-25 was presented by our Honorable Finance Minister in the Parliament yesterday. And definitely we had our own expectations and hopes from the interim budget that yes, some sectors are definitely going to see a change and some sectors were anticipating changes, but those changes did not happen. So in today's episode, I am going to break down the interim budget 2024 and 25 with respect to the winners and losers among various sectors. In this discussion, we are firstly going to study about the major highlights of the interim budget. Then we are also going to see the focus sectors in the interim budget. Then we are also going to analyze the sectors that have lost in this year's interim budget, and lastly we'll see a practice question for your prelims examination. So if I talk about the background of our today's topic, the article also talks about the budget breakdown. What are the key sectors that were in focus? Which were the key sectors that were anticipating a change but those changes did not happen? So we are going to study about all of this in further slides. But firstly, let us discuss the major highlights of the interim budget, and I'm only discussing the important points because we have covered it extensively in a separate video and you can watch that video on our channel. So let us just revise the major highlights or important points of the interim budget 24-25. Okay, so there has been no changes in direct and indirect tax rates and they have not even been proposed. So basically the taxpayers were anticipating that yes, this year is a special, this is an election year, so the government might reduce the indirect and direct tax rate, but that has not happened. Instead, the government has decided to waive income tax demands up to rupees 25,000 for the period until 2009-10 and rupees 10,000 for the years 2010-11 to 2014-15. benefiting around 1 crore of taxpayers. So they have not decreased the tax rates, but yes, they have waived the tax demands, and this is going to benefit the taxpayers of the country. Moving forward, a scheme aimed at assisting the middle class, particularly those residing in rented homes, in purchasing or constructing their own houses will be introduced. Basically, the government has fulfilled the vision of the middle class of affordable housing, because we middle class people always dream about having our own house, and finally this dream is going to be achieved for various middle class people in assistance with the government of India. Then tax incentives for startups and investment made by sovereign wealth or pension funds have been extended for an additional year until March 31, 2025. So basically this fulfills the vision of the government of India, Make in India, Self-Sustainable India. So those startups which has been started by sovereign wealth or pension funds will definitely benefit from this. Okay. Moving forward, capital expenditure has been hiked to 11% to rupees 11.11 lakh crore, and definitely this is a much needed impetus to the infrastructure sector. So this will definitely give a huge boost to the infrastructure sector. The fiscal deficit projection for the financial year 25 stands at 5.1%, which is lower than the revised estimate of 5.8% for the financial year 2024. And this is a ray of hope in these challenging times that the government has finally managed to reduce its fiscal deficit. The government plans to borrow rupees 14.13 lakh crore in the next fiscal year, a reduction from rupees 15.43 lakh crore in the financial year 2024. So basically, the government is trying to reduce the fiscal deficit. The government is trying to reduce the borrowings and hence fulfilling its vision of becoming self-dependent, a self-sustainable India. Moving forward, social justice as an effective governance model has been emphasized in the interim budget 2024 to 2025. There has been a focus on the poor, youth, women and the annadata, that is our farmers. So basically it will help in achieving the economic growth. It will help in achieving the self-reliant India. Okay, and these are the four pillars of the interim budget 2024-2025. Okay, then the most anticipated India Middle East European corridor, that is the 𝐈𝐀𝐒 project, to be taken forward despite disturbances in the Red Sea. So when the interim budget was about to be announced, there was an anticipation in this regard that what will happen to the India Middle East European corridor, whether we will be continuing with the project or we will be not continuing with the project due to the recent disturbances in the Red Sea, which are often in the news. But yes, after the announcement of interim budget, we have made it clear that yes, we are going ahead with the 𝐈𝐀𝐒 project. Apart from this, a nominal growth in the GDP, is forecasted for 2025 at 10.5%. So basically this growth is very nominal in nature in the gross domestic product of India for the financial year 2025. Now let us move forward to see and study about the key focus sectors in the interim budget 2024 to 2025. So the sector which has received a lion's share in the interim budget definitely is the interest payment sector. Interest payment sector, and this has received a lion's share. After this comes the transportation sector. And then comes the defense sector. Okay, so in defense sector also and in the transport sector also, after transport and defense. So after the interest payment sector, transport sector and the defense sector have been prioritized in the interim budget 2024-2025. Then comes the agriculture sector. So the government is planning to promote private and public investments in the post-harvest activities, including modern storage and supply chains, in addition to boosting self-reliance on oil seeds. How many of you remember the GM mustard issue? If you don't know about the issue, kindly watch the in-depth video regarding the same. Basically, this has been a pivotal argument by the central government in the ongoing issue before the Honorable Supreme Court of India, that yes, we are planning to reduce the import of the oil seeds. We want to become self-sufficient in nature, and that is why they want to have GM mustard for commercial use purposes. And this has been reiterated in the interim budget 24-25 that yes, we want to boost our self-reliance on oil seeds. Moving forward, a comprehensive initiative for the advancement of dairy farmers is in the works, and increased funding will be allocated to the fisheries sector to enhance its productivity. So basically, this is a blueprint of creating a blue economy. 2.0 that has been announced by our Honorable Finance Minister in the interim budget 24-25, and we will be discussing this blue economy 2.0 in a separate video. But as of now, just understand that yes, the shift has been there to the dairy sector, the fisheries sector, the marine ecosystem. Okay, so all of these sectors have been brought to shift in the focus in the interim budget 2024 to 2025. Moving forward to the welfare of middle class. Apart from providing them with affordable housing scheme, the government has also increased the threshold limits for tax rates for individuals to provide more money in the hands of the taxpayer and boost consumption. So the more money you will put in the hands of the taxpayer, the faster economic growth you will achieve, because definitely it is going to boost the consumption in the Indian economy. Moving forward, there is this tourism sector, which is again brought in focus by the interim budget 24-25. Every one of us have heard about the Maldives-Lakshadweep dispute. So it is not just about Lakshadweep Islands or the island cities in India. Okay, it is about overall tourism sector, and the government will encourage states to develop tourist centers and market them at global scale. It is also planning long-term interest-free loan to states for boosting their tourism economy, and definitely island cities in India are also going to see a boost in the tourism economy with the help of the central government. Moving forward, renewable energy sector. Renewable energy has been an ambitious plan of the government of India because it will help in achieving net zero emissions by the year 2070. And that is why focus is again brought to the renewable energy sector in the interim budget 24-25. So 1 crore households to obtain 300 units free electricity every month through rooftop solarization. So kindly let me know in the comment box below the name of the scheme that has been launched by our Honorable Prime Minister on January 2024 in relation to the rooftop solarization. Okay, each household is expected to save rupees 15,000 to rupees 18,000 annually, and definitely this will save a lot of money of the middle class income group because they spend a lot on electricity bills. So yes, this rooftop solarization is another ambitious idea of the government of India. Moving forward, let us understand the sectors that have lost. Apart from the sectors that have gained, we have also seen, impetus of the budget money in the railway sector as well. We are going to get new trains on the Vande Bharat model. Vande Bharat model. So all the outdated trains will be shifted to the Vande Bharat model. And apart from this, we are going to get new railway corridors as well. So the railway sector also was in focus in this year's interim budget of 2024-25. Now, if I talk about the sectors that have lost this year, so the first sector is electric vehicles or the EV vehicles. So EV vehicles is a very ambitious project of the government of India. We time and again hear in the news that yes, Tesla is coming to India, but in the interim budget 24-25, the government has ended the subsidy on EV vehicles which was given to us before on buying the EV vehicles. Okay, then aviation sector also, no new allocation has been done to the Udan scheme. Udan scheme is basically reinventing and restoring the airports in the tier 2, tier 3 city. But this year we have not seen any allocation to the Udan scheme. Then allocation to the education sector has also been reduced. Allocation to the UGC and other institutional sectors have also been reduced. Okay. Then census has also seen a decreased amount of impetus in the budget 2024-2025 allocation. Okay. Then there is jewelry sector. Do you know that we import almost all of the gold from outside? So whatever gold ornaments you are buying, the import duty is at 15%. And this import duty has not ended. The jewelry sector was anticipating that yes, this import duty on gold will be reduced, but no, this has not been ended in the interim budget 24-25, and definitely it is a sign of worry to the jewelry sector because they say that if you will continue importing golds, then definitely our Indian markets are going to be flooded with the cheap gold from outside. Okay. Then there is disinvestment sector as well. So the disinvestment targets of the government of India have been reduced from $300 billion to just $500 billion for the financial year 24-25. So yes, there are no big disadvancement targets by the government of India this year. Moving forward, the budget allocated to the fertilizer subsidy recorded the biggest drop. It formed 3.44% of the total budget in financial year 25, a 0.77 percentage points drop from the 4.21% of the total budget in the financial year 2024. So this has also seen a big drop, and this is a massive blow to the fertilizer industry. The budget allocated to food also recorded a considerable decrease. It formed 4.31% of the total budget in financial year 25, a 0.42 percentage point drop from the 4.31% of the total budget in the financial year 24. Apart from this, rural development, IT sector, etc. have just seen a nominal increase in the budget allocation. Let us understand this better by a pictorial representation. So as you can see, the big rectangle means that the budget allocation proportion have been increased. The deep blue color highlights the increased allocation, and deep red color highlights the decrease in the allocation. So as you can see, interest sector forms the lion's share of our budget allocation, and then comes the transport sector, then comes the pension sector, and as you can see, there is a drop in the defense sector, there is a drop in the food sector, and definitely there is a drop in the fertilizer sector. So you can analyze this graph and find out that yes, which sectors have gained from the budget and which sectors have actually lost from the budget. With this, we come to a conclusion of our today's session. We have seen the major highlights of the interim budget 24-25. We have also studied about those sectors which has seen a major change in the interim budget to 2024-25, and we have also seen those sectors which were anticipating a change but they did not see any change. Now let us study about a practice question for your prelims examination. So the question is, what are the 4 pillars of Viksit Bharat mentioned in the interim budget 2024? So your option A is Garib, your option B is Mahilaएं, your option C is Yuva, and your option D is all of the above. So kindly drop your answers in the comment box below. I hope this session was insightful for you. If you have any feedback regarding this session, kindly drop it in the comment box below. If you liked today's discussion and found it to be helpful, kindly like the video and subscribe to our channel for more such updates. Thank you.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.